What is going on, guys? Harry here, and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. If you are new to my channel and you haven't subscribed, please do. And if you do enjoy this video, please leave it a thumbs up. It does mean a lot to me. In today's video, we're going to be looking back at how my first year on Sorare has gone, how much money I've made, how much money I've put into the platform, the prizes I've won, some of my best trades, and just a general chat of how I think the future is going to look on Sorare in 2022. Okay, so I signed up to Sorare on the 19th of January 2021. I wouldn't say I was an early adopter because the platform's been around since 2019, so I was early in comparison to the numbers we're seeing on the platform now, reaching like above, I think it's like 80,000 users now have or own one or more Sorare card, which is just crazy. Obviously the limited cards have helped with that massively. But yeah, signed up on the 19th of Jan. I think at the time I bought two whole Ethereum from Coinbase like prior to January, so like December time. And I was just holding it in my account. So I signed up to Sorare on the 19th, like I said. And yeah, for my like starting capital, I used that 2 Ethereum to sort of start me off on my Sorare journey. At the time, Ethereum, I think I spent like £1,500 on those 2 Ethereum. I think they were like $750 each at the time. Don't quote me, I don't know exactly, but it was around that price. And yeah, I just started buying players on Sorare. I'll be honest, I didn't really know what I was doing too much at the start. I aped into a Lewandowski, which was like my stellar purchase. I think I bought him for like £900 at the time, £900. So that was like a big chunk of my 2 Ethereum gone like straight away. I bought Kimpembe. I bought a few players. Okay, so game week 135 was like the first game week that I participated in. I first joined the rookie league, like many of you newcomers, if you're watching this, do. Obviously, it's the free-to-play side of Sorare where, Sorare sort of give you free common cards that you can use in the rookie league, or the casual league, I think is what it's called now. And yeah, you can compete for prizes, although, the prizes right now are pretty hard to come by. I think it's only top 3 that get prizes, but back then you could win, I can't remember how many actually got prizes, but I know you could win rare cards at the time in the rookie league, when now you can only win limiteds. But regardless, this was my first sort of encounter of Sorare. My team didn't do too well, as you can see. Chesney didn't play. Gabriel Paulista had a decent game, but the rest, yeah, just didn't do very well. Game week after that is where I started playing my rare cards. So I bought a bunch of cards, as you can see here. So I had this team in All-Star Division 4. Sandy Walsh, which I had up until recently, still in my gallery. He scored 100 on this day, which is nice to see. And then I also had a Challenger Europe D4 team, which did quite well, actually. I think I won a card no, I didn't win a card, sorry. No reward. I think I won a card the game week after that. But regardless, there was the Lewandowski that we were speaking about. I did also buy a Lorenzo Pellegrini. I think I paid £80 for him. Chris Smalling and Jesse Moulin for Saint Etienne. And then this was the rookie league again. So yeah, I sort of went straight into buying players. Like I said, I didn't really know too much about what I was doing. And I know that's kind of irresponsible, but at the time it was like, I don't know, I was just so excited. I just wanted to get involved. I wanted to buy some rare cards straight away. And I don't necessarily think you have to these days. You can take, well, especially with the casual league now, it's open forever basically. So you can play the free-to-play version on Sorare as long as you want. Where back then it was only 8 weeks, and after that you'd have to have, transitioned into like the rare cards at the time, because there was no limiteds back then. But like I said, spent big money on my Lewandowski. I wanted like a stellar card that I knew of, because there's obviously loads of players at the time that I didn't know existed, as in like there was loads of Belgium league players that I weren't familiar of. Obviously, like having a fantasy background, I knew a lot of football players, but they were mainly in the top 5 leagues in Europe. So yeah, that was a weird thing for me, getting to know all these new leagues and stuff. And yeah, now I love the fact that I know so much about all these obscure leagues. Like I said, weird landscape at the time. I went in with 2 Ethereum, and yeah, I think a month or so after that was when we saw the massive boom on Sorare. So if we look here, so I sort of signed up, January 20th. My roster value was, $3,300 roughly, right? And then, as you can see, we got into like March, and it started like doubling. And then middle of March, it was up to like $18,000 US. So at this time, though, I was putting a little bit more money into the platform, like through my debit card. You know, it wasn't that 2 Ethereum turned to 18 straight away in that sense. You know, I was buying a few more players, and I have worked out how much I've spent on Sorare in this year on my card. So the calculation is I spent £8,477 on Sorare on my card throughout this year. And then the 2 Ethereum on top of that, which was roughly, let's say, £1,500 at the time of me purchasing that Ethereum. So there you're looking at like 10,000 roughly. And then I did also convert a little bit of another cryptocurrency that I was holding and turned that into Ethereum, then transferred that into Sorare as well. So I'm probably looking at around 12 to 13,000 that I put into Sorare over the last year. Not exactly, but a very good guesstimate. Yeah, as you can see here, my gallery's grown, well, since sort of starting in January, it's grown exponentially, really. So the peak was here at 90,000 US dollars, but we're at 86.90 right now from 3,000, which is crazy. Obviously, like I said, I did put money in gradually over the year, so it wasn't that I haven't turned 2 Ethereum into however much my gallery says it's worth on Sorare data. If you don't know, this is like a third-party data provider website. It's amazing. You need to be using Sorare data if you want to be successful at Sorare, bottom line. So like I said, 28.65 Ethereum is my rough valuation of my roster right now. Like I said, I haven't turned 2 Ethereum into 28. It was more like 5-6 Ethereum into 28 roughly. So like a 5-6x, whatever you want to call it. But it's been a ridiculous year for me. Like genuinely, I didn't expect the platform to grow this much in this short amount of time. Like I really didn't. Okay, so right now we're gonna have a look at what prizes or how many prizes I've won within the year in the form of cards, and also how much Ethereum I've won in that time as well. So this little thing here represents how many times you've podiumed in Sorare, I think, and that's once. In December, so last month, I came first in the under 23 Rare Pro division, and that's where I won this Cody Gak Pro that you can see here on the screen. So I came first, 440 points, getting week 230. My best card by a mile. I think he's worth over 2 Ethereum right now, which is crazy. But going back to the key metrics, so I've earned just over 1 Ethereum in Ethereum earnings. So that means every time I've podiumed, which is only once, plus every time I've won the Ethereum threshold in Global All-Star. So whether that's 0.01 Ethereum or 0.02, all that added up in the year has added up to just over 1 Ethereum, which is not bad at all. Just, you know, whatever Ethereum's at now, Ethereum right now is at like £2,400. So yeah, you could basically value that at £2,400 roughly earned in just Ethereum. And then we've won 28 card rewards. So some of my first ones. So my first card reward was in game week 136, Maxine Lestane. And yeah, I came 40th then I came 68th and won this card. At the start of my sort of Sorare journey and the card that I was winning, like if you look at any of these cards on the screen right now, none of them are of that much value, to be fair. Hubert was like my first big card win. He's a starting goalkeeper in the Belgium league, so he was a very nice pull. He was my first tier 1 pull, and then after that I went on a nice run. So Daniel Saloy was another tier 1, which was an amazing card to win at the time. Tyler Miller the same, another tier 1. Odilion was my first under 23 tier 1, and then Kofi was a big tier 1 to win. I came 13th that game week. And then I went on like a crazy streak. So since game week 224, I've won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've won 5 tier 1s, 1 star rare, and a couple of tier 2s and some tier 3s, which is ridiculous, really, in the space of, you know, what's that? 12 game weeks. Compared to down here, it took me, Jesus. Nearly like 100 game weeks to win like 8 cards. You know, it was, even though there was less players playing then, obviously my knowledge about the game and my cards weren't really cooperating. You know, it just wasn't coming to fruition in terms of the scores of my teams and how my players were playing. But like I said, my understanding of the game and how the scoring matrix works, you know, I was I was a noob at the time. Like, that's just the best way to describe it. Yeah, over the last sort of 12 game weeks, like I said, it's been ridiculous in terms of the amount of card rewards I've won, especially with the Cody Gakpo. He's my first ever star rare, and yeah, just over the moon to be able to be in a position to win those type of cards. So having a look at this box here, total rewards, current valuation. You're looking at, I've won roughly 6.3 Ethereum worth of rewards, plus the 1 Ethereum in ETH earnings. So you're looking at, for the year, I've won roughly just over, well, 7.36 Ethereum, which is what, 23,000 pounds roughly. I know Ethereum fluctuates in price, so it's hard to sort of gauge, but we're just giving rough examples. We're not dealing with exact numbers here, but that's just the type of yield a gallery of sort of my size is sort of performing at. And like I said, before game week, before I won Kofi, from game week 206 to when I first started, game week 136, 70 game weeks, I know I won cards here, but they weren't of any significant value in that sense. Completely didn't expect to win this many cards over the last 2 or 3 months. And then on top of that, in terms of like my trades over this last year, I've been very busy with trading as well. Like, that's one thing I can vouch for as well. It's not just, I haven't grown my gallery this much just through winning cards, because for a long time I wasn't winning. I was doing a lot of trading, just trying to make little margins here and there, and yeah, eventually, building up a balance and then buying another card and selling him when he was hot, and then, bringing in somebody who's injured maybe and waiting for him to come back. Just loads of little strategies I was using to sort of, get myself in the best position I could be to get those cards that I wanted. In terms of my best trade, it would have to be a player called Vinicius Souza. So actually, I'll show you on Sorare instead, because this will be a bit easier. So I bought a player called Vinicius Souza. I bought his super rare card. Which one? So this was the card I owned, okay, before I sold it. So as you can see here, it says my name, Harry Trades. I bought this card on, about 3 or 4 months ago now for £362, right? It's not going to show you the exact amount I sold it for, but I'll go into Sorare data and show you that. But yeah, in December, I decided to sell my prized possession. He was my best card by an absolute mile. As you can see by his scores here, he's got an L5 of 83, which is ridiculous. I'm just going to try and show you. So yeah, this was my card. So the 2 of 10. So there we go. So there's my name, Jeff's Army, Harry Trades. And I got 4 Ethereum for him, which roughly at the time, I know this is only a month ago, but roughly it was around £11,000 that I sold the card for. So bought him for 300, sold him for 11,000, which is ridiculous, really. And yeah, the only reason I did well on that trade, obviously I can't control how well this player plays. We can only do so much behind the screen, but the main reason I actually scouted him was because of SofaScore, which is an app on iPhone and Android that basically gives you loads of statistics and stuff about every game that's played across the world every day, and it's free, which is crazy. This is not an ad or anything. It's just, all I'm saying is the reason how I found out about Vinicius Souza was, I was just searching on SofaScore on a random Friday night, and his team in Belgium played, and he had a really good score on there. It was like an 8.2 or something, and he made like 10 tackles. And if you don't know, on the scoring matrix on Sorare, tackles are worth a lot of points. And yeah, he does a lot of them each game. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to take a chance on this kid. He just had a crazy game. And yeah, it turned out that he was sustaining that score for the last couple of months. And that's how I sold him for that amount of money, So yeah, that was like my best trade by a country mile. Will trades like that happen again? Maybe. I don't know whether I'll be doing those trades again in that sense. I don't know whether I'll be in those positions, but I do think those sort of yields are possible in the future. Like, there's no way of me knowing that, but that's just my belief. Don't take it as financial advice, of course. But yeah, it's been an unbelievable year. I just wanted to sort of make a video just to explain to you guys, where I started and how I'm doing now or whatever, and the prizes I've won. So I hope you've got a better sort of understanding of that. I will be giving away a card that I won today. It was a tier 3 card, so I'm going to give him away because yeah, it's my 1 year anniversary video, so I had to do something for it. And yeah, obviously you guys have been supporting me for a while now on the channel. watching all my live streams and what have you. So I just massively appreciate every single one of you. So yeah, I'll be giving away the card on Twitter. So make sure you go and follow me on Twitter. It's harrytrades, or at harrytrades YT. Follow me over there, and I'll make a post. You'll probably just have to retweet the tweet, whatever it is, whatever the conditions are, and then I'll pick someone at random to win the card. So yeah, pretty straightforward. If you did enjoy the video, guys, please leave a like on it. It does mean a lot to me. And yeah, I will be live streaming tomorrow for game week 238 if you want to pop in and say hello. And yeah, thank you for watching, and have a good night, guys.